And we're live. And we're live. Shout out to Donna Davis. Donna Davis, thank you for being the first one in this morning. Shout out to you. Shout out to people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work. This morning. Extra special big up. Shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to my entrepreneurs, my stay-at-home moms and pops, my retirees. Shout out to the crossing guards. Shout out to military personnel. Shout out to law enforcement personnel. Shout out to the people out there in the medical field. Shout out to whatever profession you are in. All professions across the board. As long as you're somebody that's glued in, cued in, tuned in, getting up, getting out, and going to get it on a daily basis, that takes discipline and dedication. Shout out to you. You're working hard for the things that you want in life. You're not out here robbing and stealing and selling pum pum and bottoms and not doing these kinds of things, degrading yourself in order to get forward. You're working hard for it, right? All right. With God on your side on these things, so shall a man eat by the sweat of his brow. And that's all you're doing. So you deserve respect, the utmost respect. Manners and respect to each and every one of you, and shout out to the people who wish good for others as much as they wish good for themselves. Genuinely. Not the one them will heal you up and say, yeah, man, I wish everything go good. It's looking all nice. And as soon as you turn your back, they start praying these kind of bad prayers. They call them for you. I hope everything in my do feel. I hope it pop down. You me not believe in him, you know. Don't think you might gonna make it that far still. Not that kind of person. You wish good for others as much as you wish good for yourself. You're a good person. Some of y'all, I don't want you to wish nothing for me. Because oh no, you always wish bad for people, but you wish bad for yourself too. That's why I said that, right? You wish bad for yourself too. Some people just destructive and wish bad for themselves all the time. So it's normal for them to wish bad for others as well. Watch your spirit. Watch your spirit. All right. Morning, morning, morning. Here we are on this beautiful morning. I start out the morning. Happy hump day, everybody. I start out the morning. I gotta big up some people, but Queen Ifrica did a thing to lay this on social media yesterday. I don't know if y'all saw it, but don't worry, I have the full video here, and we're going to listen to what Queen Ifrica had to say. I don't know if there's more to the video, but from what I saw, what was put up, I snatched that piece, and it was a pretty good piece, enough for us to form some kinds of conclusions. All right, so we're gonna talk about that this morning. Ladies' eyes on our radar again. Chat to my back, chat to my back. If the man live. Donna Davis, big up yourself. Thanks for being the first one in this morning. Mr. Article Don is in the building this morning. The number to call in 1806. It's not 1805. I made a mistake. Let me see if I can delete that and put it back up. Remove. Okay, yes, I can. It's 1806 587 8953, and that's the call-in number. I put the wrong number up. My apologies. All right. Let me continue bigging up some people. Michelle Howell is in the building this morning. Thank you for being here. Audrey Wright, thank you for being here. Mervyn the Point, Jamaica, Kerr, Prellis, 123. BM is in the building. Wayne Nathan, big up yourself. Senior Sexy is here with us. Crystal G. Devin Gale, thank you for being here. Darlene Walter Riley. Do we have Debbie Jervis? Debbie Jervis says, happy hump day, everybody. Karen Notice, we are at hump day already. Feel like the week just started. Karen Notice, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Vicky Victory is in the building. Vicky, big up yourself. Black Goddess Henry is here. Lisa Watkins is in the building. Prellis 123 is here with us. Faye Van Rail is here with us this morning. Julie Tapper, Sharon Spence, King Biggs, Lessa Steph, Dorothy T, Kaz Robinson, Cinnamon Toast Cinnamon says, good morning, everyone, and I hope all is well. Carrie Ann Jones is in the building this morning. And Sharon Simpson, thank you for that. I appreciate you. Lady J is in the building this morning. Thank you for being here. Sharon is celebrating the first super chat from Sharon Simpson. I appreciate you, Sharon. Thank you so much. Lauren Lawrence is in the building with us this morning. SDs, Rosalind Smichael, Michelle Howell. Hot and spicy. Hot and spicy, where you been? I haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for being back. Lil Red Gucci 2 is in the building this morning, and DR is here. Let's get into all our topics. So, first of all, this morning's show is sponsored by Soninka Solar Light. I don't know how this part go already, right? All right. Perfect for rural areas, for corners and lanes, and it's perfect for your backyard, your front yard, your driveway. Perfect for a storage room that might be dark, perfect for farms. Like if you're living in rural areas in Jamaica, it's actually even perfect for street, like a lane that you might live down that's dark. Certain parts you want to light up. They are waterproof, they are commercial grade, and they are lighting that's really, really bright. Make your surroundings safer, right? And you don't have to wait on your government or other people to install lights. These we're in modern times now. These lights are pretty good. You might have seen my commercial by now that I made for Soninka solar lights. It gives you a good idea of what you're getting, right? The light's pretty bright, pretty bright. Yeah, so get yourself out the darkness and get into the light. This is geared especially towards the people in Jamaica and the Jamaican market, right? But not only them, you can also use it wherever you're at. So reach out to Soninka Solar Lights. All their information I will put in this video and I will pin it before we get out of here. And you can go over to them, talk to them, and get you some lighting in some dark places, right? All right. Listen, this Queen Ifrica. Queen Ifrica was missing from social media for quite some time. I don't know, but some report said she was missing from social media for 2 years. 2 years flew by pretty fast. Anyhow, she had a lot of stuff to say to Minister Marianne Hall, our Lady Saw, and I think it's something worth us talking about. Finally back in the States, Asser Odetta, welcome home or welcome back. We're going to be answering questions this morning. I have a long list of questions to answer, a whole page. Oh, I don't know why this came up. It came up actually yesterday in my head. And I figured I would just put it out there before we go any further. Just listen to this real quick. Do not be afraid to leave people and to lose people. Now, this, sometimes I just write my thoughts down. I'm random like that. And this thing was just flowing through my head, so I wrote it down. Do not be afraid to leave people and to lose people. When your destiny is defined to you by the Almighty and you actually begin to listen, take heed, and move in accordance with, you are going to lose people. Do not be afraid to lose people or to leave people. In life itself, you are going to lose people naturally. Some to sickness, some to accidents, some to, the viciousness of other human beings. But you're just going to lose people along the way. That's life. We shed people. You will not always be alone, but parts of your journey will definitely be lonely. Deafening, silent, lonely. Don't worry about who stays and who goes. You cannot control and you cannot stop that. And stop worrying about what you cannot control. On every level. Who is meant to be there will be there. And who is not just simply won't. Thought I'd share that one with you this morning. That was some of my thoughts that was just running through my head, and I figured I'd write it down and I'd give it out. Right? I found use in it. It was in my head. Anyhow, Queen Ifrica airs out Lady Saw. Jeez. Wait till we get into these questions. These questions are pretty interesting this morning. Some of them anyways. But Queen Ifrica aired out Lady Saw, and I think that's exactly where we're going to start. Right? Roxanne McIntosh, big up. Thank you for being here. I wish I could stay, but I'll catch y'all later. All right. Have a wonderful day, my friend. Sharon Ingram says, morning. Asserin Odetta says, to a mush car that someone totaled my car while my son was driving. That's what you came back to. Yeah, that could suck. But material things, we always have to keep on looking on the brighter side of things. Is your son okay? Was he injured? The car can be fixed and replaced. I know she's probably cussing me out. Shut your ass up, SouFlo. It's a lot of expenses now that I've incurred that I have to go take care of. When you're going through your troubles, you don't want to hear that, right? Yeah, some people get philosophical. I don't know what you're mad about this morning. You know, the man that has no shoes, he complains about how he wants a new pair of shoes. And then the man that just lost both his feet because they amputated them from diabetes, he has no worries about shoes. He's just worried about feet, and he wish he had 2 feet where he could worry about putting shoes on them. So somebody's problems always greater than yours, and they'd be like, "Shut the hell, go away from here, please. Just let me go through my stuff." You said your son is in pain. Get him some help ASAP, right? Get him some help ASAP. He's in pain, but he's all right. All right. I just got the car in November. I'm about to take him to the hospital. All right, Asarin, we wish you all the best. Stay safe out there. All right. All right. Let's get into this one.
You know something? Ladies, sir, you need to cut out the fuck, you know. You see, you's a woman where you's a very wrong and strong kind of woman, you know, sir. All right, now, you can call us a Queen Ifrica lose her blood clotted and I call up everybody name. But you go looking at the history and the name them when me a call and the contribution where they
all right,
make
listen. All right, so Asarin Odetta is saying she lost her car. She just got back into the US and her son totaled the car. Somebody hit it while he was driving. And I'm going into something that's a bit more trivial, and I hate to do that while you're talking about, because I'm looking at the comment section in the meantime, and I'm seeing people talking about internal bleeding. Michelle Howell says, yes, internal bleeding is no joke. Listen, I just read to you about losing people, right? And then I went from reading to you about losing people to stop worrying about things that you cannot control. So if you have a problem or what you think is a problem, and then there's a solution to it, you don't have a problem. Apply solution to problem, fixed, move on, right? So we're not going to dwell on that this morning. Asarin, we wish you all the best. You probably shouldn't be here on live with us this morning. Go take care of your son and go take care of your car. That's more important, right? We're with you. We're with you in spirit and prayers. And because I feel guilty going on with this, where Queen Ifrica airing out Lady Saw, and you're in here like, yeah, he's hurting, and now somebody is going on to internal bleeding and all that other stuff. So please go take care of that. That's way more important. All right. As long as he's okay, then car can be replaced and all that other stuff. So go take care of your son. All right. We appreciate you being here, and we hear you, and we're with you. All right. All right. All right. So let's get into this. Let me rewind this whole video, get you up to speed. You know, Lady Saw left dancehall music. She was that woman known as the queen of dancehall music. Spice now holds that throne and has for quite some years now. But Lady Saw went to church, right? And she actually went to church. If you don't remember, there was an artist out called J Capri. J Capri was supposed to be the next big thing coming out of dancehall reggae music. She was polished in every way and ready to go to the mainstream. And J Capri passed away under weird circumstances. And Lady Saw got scared. And she said it out her own mouth. She got scared, so she went to church. Like, this was her calling or her warning to get out of dancehall kind of thing. She went to church, and then she became Minister Marian Hall. A lot of people had an issue with her going to church straight from dancehall, you know, with all the derogatory stuff, and the next day you were a minister. Like, where was your ordination? Who ordained you? You know, people had questions. And then she started talking about how defiling, dirty dance hall is and all this stuff. So, and a lot of people had more questions and more comments, like myself. I was like, well, if the space of dance hall is so dirty and nasty and all these ways that you're describing it, you got all your riches from that dirt, that nasty, whatever you want to now, right now that you're going to the church. So I'm wondering if you're going to give back all the stuff that you got from, that was one of my main bones. I wonder if you're going to give back all the stuff that you got from dancehall, because if your God is so great, then your God says, come away from that. Your God must be saying, come away from that and leave all that is attached with it. And I will provide new for you. Pimp. And I had my 12 hoes. And my 12 hoes was slinging coochie all up and down 12th Street. And they got me my money. And over the years, because I've been pimping for a decade, I got to go into my pimp character. I've been pimping for a decade. And now I got this nice house over here. I got a condo over there. I have a stable over there, which is a 2-bedroom condo where I keep my hoes, the broken down ones. My bottom hoe, she got her own house. And you know, we're diversifying our portfolio. We're into real estate and other investments and all that. I'm getting rich. And then one day I turned around and said, this pimping thing is unholy. It is not of God. My life, I want to change it. I've been putting these women down, doing them dirty. I'm giving my life to the Lord. I go to church Friday night, and by Monday morning, I'm Minister SouFLo. Minister SouFLo. And I'm not a member of a church or anything. I'm coming in at the head as the minister, right? And I'm here to preach and teach straight from pimping, right? And so I show up to church in my fly pimp suits that my hoes bought me, because you know they slang coochie all over the place and stuff. They did the got and stuff, jumping from car to car. They did the hustle, but I managed the finances. So I got nice things. So I pulls up to church Sunday morning in my nice Cadillac truck, seat laid way back, you know, and my fine linen suit that is tailor-made. And I get to the church and I got some stuff to say. Now, is it okay? Is it okay? Is it okay for me to switch that quick and bring all my riches from pimping over to the church and just sit there in front of all the other church members like I'm a rich member in this church? I'm a famous member in this church. I'm known in these streets, and now I'll be known in this church. That's how it was viewed to me when Lady Saw did the switch. No disrespect, Lady Saw. I'm just saying that's because I did the video. I can't be a hypocrite. My videos are still up there on YouTube. I don't want somebody to say, SouFLo, you know, you're two-sided sword, back and belly rat, because one time you say something, next minute, here's the video where you said. So I'm saying it because I said it before. I said it when she first went to church a couple of years ago, and the video is still on YouTube, right? But anyhow, it seems like she's making her transition back into dancehall. When she first started fusing dancehall music with Christian music, or secular music as it's called, a lot of people were up in arms with that again. But some people are saying, leave her alone, because the men do it. You have Lieutenant Stitchy, you have Papa San, you have a couple of other people that left dancehall space and went to church and became Christian and saved, and they still do dancehall music, but they just put church lyrics, God lyrics, and stuff like that in it instead of putting derogatory lyrics in it. And people are saying, leave her alone. They're doing it, and no one's saying anything about it. So why can't she do it? And I said that too. You know, I was like, okay, she's not going to give back all the stuff she got from dancehall. But she should still be allowed to do her music, even if she wants to do dancehall music. It could be dancehall Christian music, just like, remember, I know you have Grace Trillers. I don't know if some of y'all know Grace Trillers. That's my mom's favorite stuff, right? Grace Trillers. Grace Trillers does reggae music, but it's Christian, churchical kind of reggae music. So there's nothing wrong with doing dancehall in my eyes if you're gonna inject Christian words and philosophy and stuff in it, versus skin out my hole and fuck it out and these kind of things, right? Pardon my language. All right. So I was riding with her. I was riding with Lady Saw. And I thought she was good over there on that other side, you know, but one minute she's preaching and the next minute she's done preaching and I'm not coming back on this platform. And the next minute she's back on that same platform. And it's starting to look desperate to people, like she's running out of money and she's missing the fame. So she's trying to figure out how to scrape her coins together again. So she's back in dancehall again. That's how some people are looking at it. Me personally, let me put my disclaimer out there before I play this Queen Ifrica right here. Me personally, at the end of the day, don't really business what the woman do. Life is a journey, and people are gonna take twists and turns and go hills and valleys, highs and lows that you won't understand because it's their journey, it's not yours. And people have a way of having your life planned out for you, like what you're supposed to be doing at this stage, just, I could say, just let people live their life, watch them go through the motions, be free to comment, but don't be so hardline like you want to dictate their life. You know what I mean? So anyhow, she has a revival Zion spirit. LA says, no, sir. Me not think so. Lady Star sound like she a cuss when she a preach, and I'm not gonna I'm not gonna go around that one. She sound like she cussing when she preaching. I think she should have went into the church just as a member. You shouldn't have went straight off the bat as minister Marianne Hall, just out the blue. You went from singing "If the Man Left and on My Pussy Fault," and then you went to "In the Name of Jesus." It doesn't equate to me. I think you needed some training. I think you needed some time to calm down. It's like a soldier coming back from combat. You can't go fresh out of a combat zone, right? Yesterday, I was kicking in doors. I was hog tying people and turning them over to military police on another side of the city and going back in, stopping cars in traffic, searching vehicles, taking people out of their vehicles. And now I'm expected in 24 hours to be home and relaxed and play with the kids and kiss wifey and be affectionate. And it doesn't work. There's a period of decompression that's needed. Is not suitable for this arena. Like my combat behavior is not suitable for my home, kind of thing. So now it becomes a fight to keep one out of the other. But I don't think there was really any effort made by Lady Saw to keep one out of the other. She like the same way how she cussed people when she was Lady Saw is the same way how she kind of cussed people through this preaching. And it doesn't sit like no revival spirit, nothing to me. To me. But that's my opinion, right? And Lady Saw, please understand this. Your back of it broad and your shell have to be thick like a turtle. And you know that because you survived many years in this thing. You're a public figure. You are Lady Saw. You are the icon. People are going to talk about you always. Always. So we are just the minions on the outside that's talking about you some more. All right? LA says Lady Saw will never be meek and mild. Well, she might need to learn to be meek and mild. We're going to talk about that this morning. We're also going to talk about, funny you should say that. We're also going to talk about what is a pick me. Because I hear ladies calling other women, and I went and did some research this morning. What is a pick me? And I was alarmed. So we're going to have a conversation about that as well. Audrey Wright says, YouTube, me tired of this buffering and thing, fix up yourself. I don't know. And we've been getting that buffering stuff all week. But the show goes on. The show goes on. I will always like Lady Saw. She's still the queen of dancehall in my head. I like that, Vicky. In your head. Because in reality, Spice is. But in your head, Lady Saw is. I like that you said in your head. She's still just like President Obama is still the president in a lot of people's head. But the reality is that Sleepy Joe Biden, is actually the president. So you see, Crystal G says her preaching sounds like cursing. It does to me. It does to me. I want to think, comes kiss up my Bible. I kiss up my rascal. Do you want to say, I suck out my Bible, I suck up. I mean, it sounds like cussing, y'all, man. Vicky Victoria says she didn't give it back. It is done, and she's coming back for more. Well, come back for more, because there's an audience here for her for sure. Any old lady saw step back on a dancehall stage, the place pop down. Yeah, and a lot of people are going to bash her, but more people are going to support her than are going to bash her. That's what I think. Dorothy T says she's always sending mixed messages and she's sitting on the fence. I think she genuinely in her heart is trying to do good, but I don't think she knows how to do it. How to be smooth with it. Like somebody just said, she'll never be meek and mild. Well, Karen Notice says she got too godly. It's okay to change your life, but don't forget where you're coming from. Makes sense. And Julie Tapper says the minister is on now. I just take a peek and come back over to see you. And I think that is what she's talking about. The same story. All right. So she on now. Okay. So Lady Saw did a piece where she was talking about her body, because apparently people have issues with how she was dressed the other day. I don't have no issue with that. One thing I don't like is how that's why y'all lost the churches, lost the younger generation, because they still wanted the women or the young ladies to be in sackcloth and head tie and all this other stuff. Now, I'm not saying you should switch it up and show up to church in a mini skirt where your pum pum does fall out in front of pastor. That's not what I'm saying. And your cleavage just squeeze up and says why and inviting. That's not what I'm saying. But when I notice when women go to church, they completely dumb down their whole self as if it's something that's required to do. And Lady Saw did do that. So when she came back out now and she started, you know what? Let me go get my face beat. Let me go get my hair done. Let me go put on this nice outfit that's sexy in some way. And, you know, let me bring out my womanness. People got shocked. And they're like, oh my God, no, Mr. Little belly skin. That can't work. That is not of God. And Lady Star says God told her to wear that outfit. So you don't know. There's no argument there. So she actually put on an outfit and people had a lot to say about it. So she preached a ceremony. And in the ceremony she was preaching, she was like, my body, I'm doing what God give me my body. I'm never do nothing to it. And I might titty them stiff breasts. And God give me them. I'm never do nothing to them. And, you know, she was running around like that. And that was a part of the preaching she was preaching that day. And a lot of people saw it and were like, that ain't preaching. Yeah, trace somebody, but that ain't preaching. See? Render your heart and not your garment. Using common sense. Yes, render your heart and not your garment. Some people say, come as you are and show up in a G-string. It ain't that. That's not it. Spice does nothing for me, but she'll be at rise and toast for Uno who want to see her. Big up to Spice, man. She doing her thing. Whether she does for me or not, I just love to see people winning. And I know her journey. She came from a long way. So it's good to see where she's at right now. You know, just watching a sister progress. That's it. Traffic do nothing for me. All right. You couldn't stay over there, Julie Tapper. Awa. Julie Tapper says Lady Star is on right now preaching. And she couldn't stay over there. What she a fling word and all. Let's hear what Queen Ifrica had to say. Okay? Because first of all, let me show you Lady Star. When she put her face beat, get her hair done and stuff. I I almost slid into her DM the other night. I forgot I was married. I was like, Lady Star, you look good. But then remember the other parts. I mean, why? So that's what they're worried about. You see her? Her music is playing, but I don't want to be hit with copyright infringement charges. So I wasn't playing the music. But stuff like this is what they're worried about. That she looks like this. Do you see anything wrong with this for being a minister, Christian woman? She get the face beat, she get the hair done. You know, the lace front look realistic. It's not blowing off her head like a toupee. All these things, she look good. Right. That's what they beating her up for. That and another outfit. Nothing wrong with it, right, Michelle Howell? I have no problem with it. Look a belly skin out the door and some cleavage. That's all. It's hot. I think she's in Florida right here. I'm not sure, but it's hot in Florida almost all year round. You know, she's covered. People need to grow up. She look good, right? All right, but hear what Queen Ifrica had to say now. And then I'll speak on how I feel about how Queen Ifrica handled this. Here goes Queen Ifrica. Listen good.
Listen, you need to cut out the fuck, you know. You see, you's a woman where you're a very wrong and strong kind of woman, sir. All right, now, You can't call it a Queen Ifrica lose her blood clotted and I call up everybody name. But you go look at the history of the name them when me I call and the country where them name them make to the destruction we are happening at Jamaica right now. I mean that's what I said to you, sir. When time Jacob dead, you run that church out of fear. See? And never because you're telling a bad mind or nothing, the thing they just look spooky and you run that church. All right, fine, you run that church and you say you're going to give yourself to God and we there watch you. We see say you have this wrestling with God because you're really never ready for Lego dancehall and secular music yet. But you know, going in a relationship with the creator to say, all right, it is what it is. I'm really have little godliness in me when all is said and done. None of this don't look how it's supposed to look. So I'm going to really work hard like Chevelle Franklin and Stitchy and Papa San them to really show us a Christian side of myself. Now, you make Joe Bogdanovich them blood clot and Catterbury them a pull you out now to come back in a secular world. And you're dead now. You're not even humble in your transition because we know say the God world and the Jesus world are one big old sham bumper clot world anyway. So all right, you come back to secular. Do it in a way where we can actually welcome you in a decent and proper way, sir. Why you come and talk about a fear titty them and a fear bat it? Love the girl now. She do her body and she do what she do to herself and she really a try to move on from it. So nobody come join back the line now with no titty and breast argument and them something there. Come call Spice, make it up with Spice. I want to set back dancehall on the female side and make the man them see say dancehall can set on the female side. I want to have real love and real unity. You come in and rush in like a competition. You come to come bulldozer back in place where they left and bulldoze. You understand what I say, sir? You need to do better now, man, and lead by example. Because I confuse you come across as. You know, I come across as a woman where I try find her footing and I try make some money and I try live how you want to live to please and serve God. You talk about you have to serve God and spread the word of God, but you talk about your titty them when you fake and your titty them. Find a different way to say it. Because that palatable way you do. I mean, I know who a pet you and not telling the bumper cloth truth. Because one thing with Queen Ifrica, I love when people tell me the truth. See, tell me the truth about me. Me I wait for somebody to come tell me the real truth about me. You understand? So I just want to say, ladies, stop the fuckery and know if you love God, show us you love God. And stop going, like I say, you're confused about money making. You understand? And wanting to belong. Because you don't need to belong, sir. You are, ladies, sir, the greatest. Mariana, ladies, sir, any one of them, you're great. Stop the fuckery. Yes, so somebody need to tell you, stop it. You know, become
Listen to the first part of what she said, though. Listen to this.
Ladies, sir. You need to cut out the fuck.
What she said about the names that she calls.
You're a woman where you're a very wrong and strong kind of woman in a star. All right, now, you can't call this a Queen Ifrica lose her blood clotted and I call up everybody name. But you go looking at the history of the name them when me I call and the contribution where them name them make to the destruction we are happening at Jamaica right now. I mean, that's what I said to you, sir.
All right. That part right there. When I said this yesterday, first thing I said is, how y'all feel about this, first of all? Brahma Wright says, my lady size for life. That's the person that I had the most fun to when I was in that dark side of the world. She needs to associate herself with people that will tell her the truth. All right. I have to stay to you, Julie Tapper. Let me see. Ellie A says, Ifrica not supposed to be a Rasta. Because that is not very Rasta-like, the vibe that she's bringing, right? And that's what I thought to myself yesterday, too. Cinnamon Toast Cinnamon says, why does Queen Ifrica always have something to say about somebody? And it seems that way. And I'm starting to think, I was saying the same thing, too. I was like, is this really like Rasta-like? You know, meek and comely and whatever. But Rasta have a rebel side to it, too. So, you know, and Queen Ifrica is known to be rebellious and loud and outspoken if you follow her back from day one. So, she be out there in the streets with them people, and when the media come through, she take front line and she really do sound off. So I give her credit for that. Why does King Big says she come in like anti-dirty shoes, like a viral share look? Oh my God, I don't know enough. Let me see who else is in here. It looked like some Sandarin lady saw some Sandarin lady saw want. She want a stush backers, hot backers. It looked like a some Sandarin lady saw want if you behave yourself. According to Spice, Lady Saw loves sex and she gets it on a regular basis, but she's not telling us. I don't know. That was a part of the argument when they were cussing each other out. Rasta mix up in a bangarang, Kerry and Jones. Yes. Be a bangarang. LA says that's like Portia Simpson who ready for cuss people, but was a PM. Yeah, and in the middle of her speech, you remember Portia in the middle of her speech, she was like, "Yes, and we're gathered here today to commemorate this wonderful hey, hold on. Yo, no bother with me now. Yeah, cause me know which part you come from and me know who feel link round that's all. Oh, okay, so as I was saying, we're here to commemorate this beautiful. I was like, yo, that woman there, gangster, yo. People said back then, I covered that video, Portia Simpson. People said, SouFlo, you stay there. Portia, a gangster, you hear? She tell the man, me know you and which part you come from and who feel link round there. She me feel link round there make you shut up. She know the area, brother. She a gang. Yes, and we're here today to commemorate. Hold on. Don't. I know you know. Yeah, I know who run rush party you still. Yeah, don't make me. It's like don't make me link them. Place went quiet. She went right back to doing what her professional duty called for her to do as a PM. Ballad can mingle in a Rasta business. Boy, here's what I'm saying. They all have links to each other in the industry, especially at that level. Jamaica is not that big. One of the things that I don't like about our Jamaican entertainers is everybody start acting like they're so hard to reach. And it's like, yes, call my people and have my people call your people and we'll set up a meeting and all. And you're not that friggin' big. You're not, you're like, there's some Hollywood star like your Tom Cruise, you get 20 million, 50 million US dollars of film and you have a whole team of people, wardrobe here, management there, bankers here, investors, this, that, the other, here, there. And come on, stop it, man. It's easy to get in touch with y'all. The island is very small, right? And you drive from one end to the other and back in no time. You cover that island in 1 day, 2 days tops, right? Whole of Jamaica done. You can reach and find anybody easy. Why did this come to social media? Why did she do Lady Saw like this? Why she drag her in front of all of us? Because even if she's speaking the truth, she had drag her in front of it. She's dragging her in front of the world. And then this is Queen Ifrica, who is a woman who I think have always stood up for females, women, girls. Daddy don't touch me there. She was addressing serious issues, right? Social issues. And she's always been an advocate for women and women empowerment and girls and protection of women and girls. So why you take this sister and drag her in front of everybody like that? Like y'all are at war. She never said anything about you. You just took it upon your head to address her in front of us. You could have called her. I told y'all I reached out to Queen Ifrica before. She never answered. I reached out to Chief Curry. Chief Curry answered. Pretty much everybody I reach out to, they'll usually answer, sometimes not right away, which people are busy. And if they're like me, don't really pay attention to the message side of my phone until about once every 2 weeks because the messages come so fast that they pile up. Pause, pana come so fast, but they pile up so much that I just have to designate a day and time to get to them. So I understand those who don't answer back right away, but she never answered at all, and I don't hold nothing against her. I'm just saying you're one of those unreachable people, I guess, but I'm sure you were able to reach Lady Saw if you really wanted to reach her. So reach out to her. The same way she just came out and said something about, remember when she did the video about Spice recently? And she was telling Spice, what's your name? Let tall up now, man. Hey, Spice. Now make me have to start talk the things them, What are you insinuating? Don't make me have to start talk the things them. Don't make me have to start, because you know when me start, I'll tell the people them nothing but the truth. It makes us go away thinking Lady Queen Ifrica has some dirt on Spice. And Spice better be careful before she start tell everybody. So Letine Tall Up, which is the new coming artist into the industry, and she's going at Spice, however, whatever. First you were at Spice to Letine Tall Up, and don't make you have it leak out the things them. And now you're over here at Lady Saw in defense of Spice. Leave her now, man. Leave her now. Because Lady Saw said about her breasts and her body, and a God gave her them, and she never do nothing to them. And I think Queen Ifrica thinks that she was referring to Spice as Spice, because Spice was missing for a minute, right? We weren't too sure what was going on with her. And then she came back with a bang. Like, she came back top video after top video after video after song drop after. She's here, there, she's touring again. Her shows is sold out. She's getting these awards, keys to the region, this, that, and the other. And here comes Lady Saw with the breast and body argument again, and God gave them to me this way. I don't think she was addressing Spice. I think she was addressing the people who were saying something about how she was dressing. But that's that. End of the day, Queen Ifrica, you could have really and truly just reach out to Spice still. You didn't have to, not Spice, reach out to, you could have reached out to Spice still, but you could have really and truly reach out to Lady Saw and just handle it that way, or attention. And so she take it to social media. Vicky Victory says Spice call her, so she come for Lady Saw. So she just caught in the middle, Vicky. And that a go on. She caught in the middle. Carrie Ann Jones says, if once in a blue moon was a person, a queen. If once in a blue moon was a person, a Queen Ifrica that. I don't know. I never like the way how she addressed the lady.
Lady, sir.
I don't like it.
The fuck, you know. You see, you's a woman where you're a very wrong and strong kind of woman, you know, sir. All right, now, you can't call this a Queen Ifrica lose her blood clotted and I call up everybody name. But you go looking at the history and the name them when we are call and the contribution where them name them make to the destruction we are happening at Jamaica right now. I mean, that's what I said to you, sir. When time Jacob pre then you run that church out of fear. See, and because you tell them a bad man or nothing, the thing they just look spooky and you run that church. All right, fine, you run that church. And you say you're going to give yourself to God, and we there watch you. We say you're in this wrestling here with God because you're really never ready to let go dancehall and secular music yet. But you know, go in a relationship with the creator to say, all right, it is what it is. I'm really have like a godliness in me when all is said and done. None of this not look how it's supposed to look. So I'm going to really work hard like Chevelle Franklin and Stitchy and Papa San them to really show us a Christian side of myself. Now, you make Joe Bogdanovich them blood clot and Catterboard them a pull you out now if you come back in a secular world. And you didn't know you're not even humble in your transition because we know say the God world and the Jesus world are one big old sham bomber clot world anyway. So all right, you come back to secular. Do it in a way where we can actually welcome you now in a decent and proper way, no sir. Why you come and talk about a fear titty them and a fear body? Now the girl now. She do her body and she do what she do to herself and she really a try to move on from it. So nobody come join back the line now with no titty and
yes, Dorothy T.
Come call Spice, make it up with Spice. I want to set back dancehall on the female side and make the man them say dancehall on the female side. I want to have a real unity. You come in and rush in like bulldozer back in place where they left and bulldoze. You understand what I say, sir? You need to do better now, man, and lead by example. Because I confuse you come across as. You know, I come across as a woman where I try find her footing and I try make some money and I try live how you want to live to please and serve God. You talk about you have to serve God and spread the word of God, but you talk about your titty them when you fake and your titty them. Find a different way to say, because that's the palatable way you do. I mean, I know who pet you and not telling the bumper cloth truth. Because one thing with Queen Ifrica, I love when people tell me the truth. See, tell me the truth about me. Me I wait for somebody to come tell me the real truth about me. You understand? So I just want to say, ladies, stop the fuckery and know if you love God, show us you love God. And stop going, like I say, you're confused about money making. You understand? And wanting to belong. Because you don't need to belong, sir. You are, ladies, sir, the greatest. Mariana, ladies, sir, any one of them, you're great. Stop the fuckery. You know something?
Crystal G 7 said 7. Friday says 7 minutes, but I read your comment. Shout out to Jamaica Matey group Pinkwall. Big up on yourself. That was on Pinkwall, but of course it was on, you know, Queen Ifrica stuff as well. Pinkwall, just take it and share it. So since I'm using it from there, I shout out Pinkwall. Now there's a message out here for Queen Ifrica as well. and it's a more somber message. And this message actually comes from the Maroons. I don't know what really are going on with the Maroons and Lady Saw. Let me see if this is it.
To Jamaica in 1494, when he was greeted by the first people of Jamaica, the early ancestors of the Maroons.
Hold on.
He first tried to land in eastern Jamaica, where he was repelled by human beings, which saw Africans forcibly exiled to Jamaica.
Okay, that's not it. That's not it. But they put a message out from the Maroons for Queen Ifrica, and I wanted that message to go out, but I can't find it, so I'll have to do it at a different time. I just saved so much stuff in here. 1 second, 1 second. All right. Yeah, me no like how Queen Ifrica handled that one here. She could have handled that differently behind the scenes. Somebody said it's her delivery more than anything else. Seeing her delivery was harsh, but you know the truth is the truth. Even when it's said in a harsh manner, it's still the truth. And she did make some valid points. There was a lot of truth to what she just said. Nobody is gonna fight Lady Saw if she come back in a dancehall. She is Lady Saw, but I think there's gonna be some. I don't even think Lady Saw could compete with Spice right now, cause she don't make the same kind of music, and the music changes so often. The scene change, the audience change. They're gonna look at her like that older woman who is in dancehall, who like should be respected and held to high regard. So they're not really pay them the kind of people that don't mind. You know, you have to still stay fresh and current. You have to can bust a split on stage and shake up your body and these kind of things, and dress in some sexy outfit that's dancehall. And that Lady Saw was. So keeping it all covered up and coming back to dancehall and trying to cross both sides, I don't think it would even work for her. She would definitely have to stick with the church stuff. Like church dancehall. Not true? Yeah, there's a message out here for Queen Ifrica from the Maroons. They're at ends with her too. So when I find that message, I will play that message for y'all, probably on a different day on a different video. See? Man, make the coach counsel her, make the church counsel her. You know, you said them kick her out of church, or them say she's not welcomed at one of these churches that she was supposed to. She was slated to perform at or appear at one of these churches, and them said no, them no want her there. And Lady Saw said she was thinking about keeping the money because they did some shady business. They used her image to promote the event, and then told her last minute that she's not welcome there, right? So she was like, should I keep the money because they already used my image? But you know what? I don't want no drama with nobody, so I gave the money back. That's what she said. So that, we don't know about no church or counsel nobody. We know a woman will go church, we go get counseling and end up, she and pastor are riding I back at church. So I'm not too into all that. Go to another man for counseling. And she call Spice name, so I never call the girl name. Lady Saw said her breast and her body, and she thought it was Spice she was talking to. Right? I'm late today. I hope all is well. 5463. Big up yourself and thank you for being here. Michelle Howell says baptism now or later at LA. A death shows up quick too. Now or later. Carrie Ann Jones says saw says she's up on the borderline. Carrie Ann. Saw is on the borderline. Lady Saw up on the borderline like Shabada. Them ask Shabada, are you gay? Are you straight? Are you send me up on the borderline? Meaning. Anyhow, I think we did enough of that. Lady Saw and Spice something for the morning. I think we can move on. We have questions. I'll save the questions for last. I want to get into the concept of pick me. Pick me. Because I heard a lot of women calling women. I've seen a lot of comments where women are calling women pick me. I'm trying to find out what a pick me is. Pick me. My phone is so dumb. And it calls itself a smartphone. Pick me. Okay. So, Have y'all are y'all familiar with this term, especially the ladies? Men too, are you familiar with this term? Have you seen or heard the ladies calling the women calling each other pick-me's nowadays? All right. Ellie A says yes. Carrie Ann says yes, man. She a play meeny miny mo. No, you're not familiar with pick-me's, BM. All right. So pick me. I went and look up what pick me is. And what I see women calling each other pick me for is not what the definition of pick me is. Right? So I'm scrolling online and I see women talking like there was one woman who was from another country, somewhere also. Anyway, she said, American women are getting mad at us, but it's not us. We're not mad at y'all. Your men are choosing more of us. And it's because we are bred differently, she said. Like our whole culture. We whole culture of where we are prepared from we're small to be wives, right? And she went on to talk about how she was like, what's the problem? If you're I watch American women all the time with their husband. What's the problem if your husband tells you you're spending too much time on your phone? Put the phone down and go spend some time with the kids. Why do you have to fire back? You go spend some time with the kids. Why why are you always bucking him? What if you're what's the problem if your husband says, I'm gonna be home from work by 6 this evening? Babe, please have dinner ready by then. And what's the problem? She keep asking like these things that she's saying, and then she's asking what's the problem. And she goes, in her culture, she went down a long list of stuff, and she was like, look, to be honest with you, there might not be no internet at all, because there was a American woman who was like, well, I'm gonna go get my passport and start traveling, get men overseas too. And there was a host of comments that said they don't want you. If they want you, it's probably like for a green card or to be able to travel to the US and something like that. They don't really want you unless you're going to be their way, right? Because they're used to a certain kind of way and certain types of women culturally. So you bring in your culture thinking you're just going to go snatch up a man there, it's not going to work. Because if you listen to them talk about women, ask them the one type of woman they don't want, and they always say an American woman because they're different come to their culture, right? So I'm watching, and I watch a bunch of women call this woman a pick me. Oh, here's another pick me. Here's another pick me because she said stuff like, what's wrong with your husband asking you to or telling you to put the phone down and go spend some time with the kids? What's wrong with your husband? You want him to protect you and provide for you, pay all the bills, care for you, and do all the stuff that a man is supposed to do. Why can't he tell you what to do when it comes to his children? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, here goes another pick me, pick me. So I had to go look up what pick me is. And then I started seeing it. It's like the first time you see a Tesla, and then everywhere around you now you start seeing Teslas, and it's like you weren't paying attention to it before, but it was there and it was everywhere already. And now that somebody pointed it out to you, now you're like, okay, here's another one, there's another one, there's another one. It's the same thing for this pick me stuff. So I went online and I'm looking around and I see it everywhere. Women are calling women pick me's, and the kind of women they're calling pick me's are not pick me's. A pick me is a woman, according to Urban Dictionary definition. A pick me is a woman that is willing to do anything for male approval. She will embarrass or throw other women under the bus to achieve this goal. Also defined as a girl who craves male attention and tries to be not like the other girls. They are basically that type of female. That's what it says, right? So she's always vying for men's attention. If you're in a room with her and there are men in the room, she wants all the man's attention, all the attention from all the man them. She wants it for herself. That doesn't fit these women that they're calling pick-me's. But I've noticed that online women have an issue, like they use words in the wrong, like he's so narcissistic. No, he just told you the truth, and it's factual. If you speak and you say something and it's facts, like you can go look it up and back it with hard data, oh, he's so narcissistic. You're being narcissistic, misogynistic. Like they use these words. And then when you go look up the definition of those words suit them. It describes them, not the person they're actually calling that. So when I looked up pick me, a woman who wants a bag of man attention and she'll do anything for men's attention in the room, that does not apply to a woman who is wife material. These women who are saying, what's wrong with your husband telling you, like, put the phone down, you're spending too much time on social media and go spend some time with the kids. You're raising kids with him, right? You and him have children together, right? Okay, how does that make her a pick me if she goes, okay, babe, and put the phone down and go? You want her to argue like you, so your household becomes combative. Now this man is arguing with you. You spend too much damn time on the phone. You've been on the phone all day. The kids are running around entertaining themselves all day. You've had them on a tablet all day. They've been staring at the damn TV playing the same thing all day. Can't you like take them outside, make up a game, play with them, get down on your knees a little bit, be at their level, look them in the face, bond with your children? Does a man have to break all that for you, right? That's where the argument was going. But the woman was saying in her culture, husband goes, hey, you've been on that phone mighty long time, man. Put the phone down and go spend some time with the kids. The kids need you. Okay, babe. She puts the phone down. She doesn't argue. And they call that a pick me. Live on the air with SouFlo. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. The reason that you can hear me?
Yeah.
The reason that they're calling her that is because
me recognize the voice, but your number changed on these things. Yeah, hide out.
No, last night WhatsApp just reset everything. I don't know why.
Okay, one of those. Yeah, so
but the reason they're calling her that is because they themselves have no capacity to submit or to even listen to any order, even a question. Can you please do this? Because they've never been told by a man what to do. They've never been raised as a wife. They're raised as some of them been raised as a pimp themselves.
Right.
Some of them have been raised as independent woman, single woman. We have a bunch of women that are old, but they're not mature. And we have a bunch of women who are old but don't know how to be a wife. That's why when men are with them and are engaged with them and engage them for like 15 years, 10 years, and never marry them, is because he knows that you're a good girlfriend, you're not a wife. You're not a mother.
Say that again. Say that again right there.
When any woman in the room right now, if you're with a man who's been with you for 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, we've been together for 35 years and have not been married, you will never be married to that man. He doesn't want to marry you. You're a wife. You might have wash for him. You might have cook for him. You might have do everything for him. But he knows that there's one thing that you do not meet. That's one criteria that is important. You're not meeting. And he has to force you. Can you please do this for me? Can you please? And you do it, but he has to force you. That one thing, he will never marry you. So all those women in the chat disrespecting this old other woman who is saying, oh, you should submit, you should do that. Those who are disrespecting her and disagreeing with her are the ones who themselves will never be married. That's why they angry at her, because they see exactly what their mother was talking about. They see the maturity, they see the wife in her. And let me tell you, when you put a wife in a room with a bunch of pick-me's, with a bunch of
she shows them up.
Street girls, she
shows up their shortcoming, right?
It makes them uncomfortable. I mean, I've seen it. Right. I've been when I was a kid, I went to this wedding, and we were at the table, and it was me and my grandma, my aunts, and a bunch of girls who were young, who nobody wouldn't say them a pick. Nobody would say that at the wedding, but we knew that they were And the wife came and sat down, and all of a sudden, everybody get quiet. Everybody stopped talking. All the women were talking to each other, but all the young girls just stopped talking. They just shut up themselves. And the wife was the one who was commanding the table. So it's like an alpha situation. It's like a female alpha situation where I don't have to act like a man to control a room. I can be beside supporting the husband and get respect from women. And that turns those women off who can't manage that feeling. They make them angry inside. Because they're getting what they want without doing the rebellion. That's the thing. They're angry because that woman is getting exactly what she wants. But they're rebelling and they're not getting it. Right. They're having their way and they're not winning. Right. So it makes them mad.
Yo, your reasoning, brother, your reasoning ability is dope. What you did that, man? You all right?
Yeah, when I was switching jobs and I was I work all the way, lot of by the sea, them place there. I have to go from inland where you there all the way out there. So I had to find out work and I had to travel from there to there. That's why I wasn't calling so much.
Okay. So you're dealing with life. All right. Manners and respect, my brother. I appreciate you every time.
Yeah, man. Big up.
That's a young brother that always used to call in, and he hadn't called in a while. He got some family members in here as well. His dad used to call in as well, right? I'm just refamiliarizing you with, y'all should know his voice by now. Some of you were saying stuff about his voice or whatever. He's pretty young, but his insight is just phenomenal, right? I said this before, and I'll say it again. A couple of things when it comes to a woman. I said, remember when I said, oh, don't let that man's wee-wee go dead for you, right? And it could go dead for you. So what? If him wee-wee go dead for me, just go find the next man. Okay, well, your relationship is over with. So that's you consciously making a decision to kill your relationship. Don't blame nobody else, right? Understand this. A lot of relationships get unhappy once the lovemaking part goes completely because it's a natural, innate need that people have. Sometimes your partner could be so disgusting to you by their behavior, attitude, or whatever. You don't want to be touched by them, and you don't want them to touch you either. It goes both ways, male and female. But here's the problem. The problem is this. How we were created physiologically, biologically, how we were created. The female body can receive even if she's not in the mood. You understand? Even if she's not in the mood, she can literally open her legs and say, you know what? I'm just doing it just because I'm honoring my marriage vows and this is my husband. I don't want him to go anywhere else. I'm supposed to be his one-stop shop. And she can facilitate that, right? Just like how a prostitute could be like, I don't really like this big, nasty, ugly man, but I need this $100. All right, come on, let's do it. She wasn't in love with him. She didn't go there seeking to be fulfilled. She wanted that $100, and that's her job as a prostituting for marriage. A woman's body will facilitate, right? Whether your feelings in it or not, that's another story. For a man, his body works differently. If he no longer feels respected by you, loved and appreciated by you, and he starts to lose that for you, you're creating a situation where you will have a man. Now you're in a relationship with a man where, damn, he don't even touch me no more. He don't even give me no compliments anymore. And this is the part we normally hear, right? This is the part they discuss with their girlfriends when their girlfriends are telling them, girl, bun him. Girl, go get to our next man. You're too young for that or whatever. But you're not listening to the man. The man is telling you like, you killing this for you, right? If there's that no love, no respect there, and he feels that way, no appreciation there anymore, the would not stand up for you neither. And it's going to be a struggle. And then the sex is going to get whack if it was good before. Sometimes, darling, I didn't light. If he manages to muster up enough here, he might probably have to go zone out and start think about somebody else while he's doing you. And then if he's not doing that, in the middle of it, he'll go soft. And you'll be like, okay, I guess he's having health issues. No, it's you. He's having you issues. He's having you issues because them old things keep coming back to his mental, which affects how that part works. See? So they're out here calling these women pick-me's, and this is a woman I heard saying stuff like this. I've always known this, I've lived it, and I've shared it before, but to hear a woman saying it, and then to see other women calling her a pick-me and telling her, well, whatever, it should stop working, I'll just go find somebody else. Well, you're not a wife. You're not a wife. You're not here for the long run. And that's what that young man just said. That's why you have some men that will be with a woman forever. She could do everything, right? There's a list of things or one thing that she is just not getting. And no matter how he put it to her, preach it to her, said it fair, she nah do it. She's not. What she's telling you is, I don't give a damn about how you really feel. Let's do the paperwork. Let's get married, right? So I could take half your shit somewhere down the line, file divorce, leave you in debt, move on with my life, all this. A man can tell from what you wake up to show him every day if you're going to be there long term. Is this somebody I can depend on? What if I go outside tomorrow and a car hit me and I'm paralyzed from the waist down? Is she still going to stick around? What if I'm diagnosed with some terminal illness? What if I'm diagnosed with something that's severe, right? That I'm going to have to go through years of this and that other. Is she really going to be there? What if it causes this part of my body to stop working for almost ever? Is she still going to stick around? What if my finances change? Is she going to step up and be like, okay, damn, my husband held it down for this long. I guess it's my turn to get in there and back because you see the situation, right? Blah, blah, blah. These are the things that a man thinks about, right? These are the things that a man thinks about when he thinks wife. He's thinking life, long term. Statistics shows. I don't know why people get mad when you go for statistics, but they're factual, right? Statistics shows that majority of marriages come to an end through divorce by women filing for divorce. Oh, she's just not happy anymore. That's it. I don't want to be here anymore. I don't know. Maybe we got married and I was too young and then I found myself and I realized I didn't really love you. I'm out. Bye. You can just take your kids and go, and the judge will say, hey, you got to leave the house. Someplace to live. And on top of that, she's been with you married long enough. You have to pay alimony now, spousal support. And then on top of that, you have to pay your child support as well and all this. So there's no winning it for a man. So a man is looking at a pick-me. What's wrong with being a pick-me to your husband? The true definition of pick-me does not fit a woman who wants to be a pick-me to her husband. Hear what? You're supposed to want to be a pick-me to your husband. Hell, I want to be a pick-me to my wife, but I want my wife to be a pick-me to me too. You know, like she is so concerned about what bothers me that it's at the forefront of her mind. I'm not doing this because I know he'll be highly irritated by this. This right here, we have to go talk about before I get involved in this or do this. It can't just be, oh, okay, so we together, so what? I'm living my own life anyways. Well, you should have never got married. No man can tell me what to do. Well, don't have a husband, right? That's how it goes. So the pick-me thing is new to me. I just discovered it. I wanted to see where y'all were at with it, because I'm sure after today, you're going to start realizing that it's out there a lot. This is what SouFlo is talking about. LA says, yes, but most of my clients is the man who wants out and he gives her money to file. Hey. Morning, fam. You're live on the air with SouFlo.
Yeah, good morning. Louis Rankin calling. Original Daddy Brockshot.
It's always a woman that says that the data is skewed and it's actually more men, and they try to refute facts that are out there. But a man never says that. It's always a woman that says that. But anyhow, your family. Talk to it.
Yes, but the first thing I want to say about she wait 3 days ago in Zimbabwe and a man calling and tell you say buffering. No man not supposed to call in and tell you say buffering. Me no want another man to call in and tell you that. A man, I would say, you have technical difficulty.
Brother.
Woman alone.
Woman
tell you say buffering.
No man buffering to me.
No.
No man buffering to me.
I don't want a man think it. I don't want a man say it on the air or off here.
All right, sir. You hear what we are talking about, though?
Yes, man. I'm gonna be yes, man. I'm honest. I'm born to it.
All right. So the one said me have ears, man. Me a listen. So talk to it then. What you do with this?
Yeah, this marriage, when that work about 23 years ago,
Yeah.
the man them said the job market changing. The old days are when a man or a woman used to stay with a company for 40 years and 6 months and collect a pension and them thing. One of them things changing is a lot of contract work. So some people on relationship like contract work, you spend a 5 years, yeah, so take some vacation, maybe make some baby, and then you move on and do another 9 years stint over here. So,
Rotted.
me don't know.
No, but that's true. It sound like it, though. That's true. That's true. It sound like it.
Yeah, I know, people that change profession, when you say you're trained to be a doctor now, the doctor now, you find the doctor, 6 years later, doctor scammer, 6 years, Malia tile on the roof, you understand? So I saw people look on relationship, I guess.
Yeah.
It's not a good thing because the
Like
kids
contract work.
Yes. Unfortunate, but
I saw.
yeah.
A reality.
They them get left in a still, which is unfortunate.
They are the real victims, my friend.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I true. Hey, man, manners and respect here, sir.
Yes, my brother. Respect.
Respect. My God, the one. That brother can say about 10 different things in one sentence. How him did in a Zimbabwe just 2 days ago or 3 days ago. And then anyhow, yeah, so ladies out there, I mean, coming from a man, a pick me. We want our wives to be pick me's. Okay? Pick me. Be my pick me. If you're gonna be my wife, you're gonna have to be my pick me. Live on the air with SouFlo. Good morning.
Good morning, SouFlo. How you doing?
I'm good, family. How you doing this morning?
Good. So I had to call in this morning on this topic.
You heard us over here with this pick me stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, what?
And I don't know. I noticed, and I feel like it's, and I'm not saying that in the Caribbean and in Africa we don't have issues between the sexes, because we do.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it's a more of a Black American, this gender war, toxic. I don't see the groups of Caribbean and African people I know, I don't see them really engaging in this as much. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Am I wrong?
It's probably just you, because majority of them I see, they're very much engaged in this type of.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe it's my algorithm.
Maybe you're around, right, exactly. It yes.
Okay, that's unfortunate.
Yes.
I think the whole pick me and simp, those terms. One thing about Black folk, we are, I don't know, we just love, we like fly to caca when it comes to anything that is toxic and destructive.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why we can't take our energies and do something positive? We never do nothing positive. It's always something negative. And this simp and pick me idea, the idea that if I care about the opposite sex, a person I'm in a relationship with, I'm a simp or I'm a pick me, is either you're heterosexual or you're not.
See.
You know what I'm saying? Sexual people with each other and care about how each other feel and want to build something. Mm-hmm. So that's not what you want. We're in free range society today. So go and be free range. Go do something else.
Right.
But I think that this is, especially as a people, it's very toxic to us. We're already the community is already very fragile.
Right.
Already.
Right.
They already say by 2053, Black people are going to have zero wealth in America already. We already barely have families already. The kids have gone buck wild already. We don't need this pick-me-sink conversation. Right. We need to be having conversations about how do we get together and love each other. But we don't like that because we love dysfunction with a passion. We really do.
Yeah, in the same breath, though, we can. In the same breath, we can, because some things have to be addressed. Like,
Yes.
On your algorithm, it's not bubbling up a lot, so you're not seeing it. So you're kind of like oblivious to this whole pick me thing that's going on. But I noticed that it was a lot. And I noticed that it was people like women ganging up and coming for women who are trying to instruct other women. Like, listen, I've been married 15 years. This is how, you know, me and my husband get through things. That's very important. It's important for men to share with younger men or other men how the journey is and how to get over obstacles and humps. And you know, that's that positive energy, give and take, feedback. And it's the same thing for women. So but when you see these sisters come out or women come out saying these things, and then you see the host of women that appear to call them all kinds of names, including a pick me. You know why I got stuck on pick me? Because pick me and pickaninny, and the root of those words, and I was like, that can't be anything good. So I had to go look it up. And why are so many women calling women who seem to be good women? They're saying good stuff that's not dysfunctional, stuff that's beneficial to a relationship and its longevity. Why are they calling her pick me? What is a pick me? And when I found the definition, that's the first thing I said was, this is destructive because this does not fit. Right. It does not fit the individual that they're giving that label to.
Exactly. And then how I would like the ones who don't consider themselves pick me or consider other people pick me in functional relation. How do they operate in a relationship with a man if outside of the pick me realm? How does that work? Because to me, it don't make sense.
Right.
And I cannot imagine that these people who are walk around calling other people pick me's are in healthy relationships.
Exactly.
Or even the ones who walk around calling man simp all day are in healthy relationships. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I also wanted to touch on the thing about the divorce.
Mm-hmm.
And you hear that a lot now because everybody's spewing, you know, I'm not talking, not you, but other people, like the statistics online.
Right.
Men say that a lot, which is true, right? So 70% of divorces are filed by women.
Majority of.
Majority of. The man is the head. We agree, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Well, that's where the problem starts.
Child.
Right there is where the problem starts. Because if the man is the head, right? That's where the problem starts. You have to agree that the man is the head first in order to move forward from there with the rest of that.
Right.
Right.
Okay. So what I was going to say based on that, nobody wants to work at a company with a high turnover rate, right?
That's facts. Yes.
Anytime you hear there's a company with a high turnover rate, you know, I say, what's wrong with these employees? Why do they keep leaving? Everybody's like, damn, what's wrong with the culture of the organization? What's wrong with the leadership?
Right.
Right? So as people like to blame women about the divorce, let's also look at the whole picture. There was a time where men didn't have to kind of build themselves as people. They could just make money. You can be an asshole as long as you provide. That was considered good enough. We've moved past that with women entering the workforce at a major rate, making the same money, making more money, more opportunities, etc. Just being a man who make money is not enough.
Right.
I do not see where are the arenas where men are getting together and say, hey, men, let's not just talk about building our money. Let's talk about building ourselves as people, building our character, right? How do we have healthy relationships with women? We know they're the emotional one. We're not as emotional, but how do we respond to that? A lot of men
there are a lot of those. There are a lot of those out there, but there are a lot of those out there now. But those are the ones that, unfortunately, those are the ones they're calling simps.
Yeah, those are the ones they're calling simps because the men who don't develop themselves as people,
right,
their relationships start to die on the vine.
Right.
And we're in an era where people can leave. And you know, women, we are emotional. Certain, you know, if you're ignoring your woman, if you're neglecting her, it'll start to chip away at our self-esteem. And we live in a very kind of self-care world. In the woman world, it's all about self-care, mental health, well-being, my soul, my spirit. And if you're not feeding that and working to feed that, she's not going to sit there and die on the vine just to say she's still married.
Yeah.
Because she has economic freedom now. She don't have to die on the vine. Many of the women before us died on the vine. And these are the women that many men praise, but they don't know the hell that their mothers and grandmothers went through because they never even asked them. They don't tell them. These women raised us. The same women, a lot of men sit on and praise all day. And then some of them went through hell and they didn't have a choice. So we live in an era.
You know, I think they had a choice. I think they had a choice. And we spoke about this before. I don't ever want to erase the greatness that my grandmother did. I heard horror stories about my grandfather, like when he was younger. But if people ask me if I ever saw Mas Cleavy do this, that, or the other, I never even heard that man use not even one curse word in my entire life, right? And him and my grandmother stayed together their entire lives. They just passed away. Him last year, 96 years old. Her the year before him, 95 years old. And he got his dinner the same way he got it every single day of the week for all the years of my life. I'm just saying, there's something called reciprocation. So if this man is expected to cater to, it's not enough for us to just make money anymore. It's not enough for us to just pay all the bills anymore. Now we have to spend equal time with the children. Now we have to do this, and now we have to do that. And now help me bathe the kids, help me feed the kids, help me do this, help me do that. At the same time, cut the lawn, make sure the pool is clean, take care of the house, do this, do that, do the other. The check on the two vehicles, is the oil low? The roof is leaking. Somebody got to fix that. Oh, but the bills still need to be paid. All of it. Cater to me now. I'm emotional. I'm a woman. I need tenderness. I need love. So where does the man's need come in?
The man needs has to be met.
Watch where I'm going.
Perspective.
Okay, but watch where I'm going with this. Watch where I'm going with this.
All right.
I'm not there yet. Okay, so what we are seeing today is the rise of me. And even the person who is taking care of these women is abused. Like, give all to me, but I don't have nothing to give to you. As soon as you stop giving to me, I'm out of here. Bye. Because it's modern times now, and I don't have to stay with you because I can make my own money. Bye. But you weren't giving to the person who was bleeding out and giving you everything. He was catering to you in every way. This is why men are saying now that, is it really worth it? Because at the end of the day, when it all falls apart, I lose my kids, lose my house, lose my wife, she marches on. I wasn't happy anymore. I'm moving on. Bye. But she wasn't catering to me the whole time. I was draining myself to make sure that she was okay in every way. And as soon as I wasn't doing enough, she out of there.
I agree. I mean, we're definitely seeing more of the rise on that. And the sad thing is, there's a saying that says, where there's a head, there's no neck. So unfortunately, good men sometimes end up with shitty women, and good women end up with shitty men.
Right.
And it's just which is just heartbreaking.
Right.
Instead of the good ending up with the good, let the shitty go.
In a perfect world, right?
Duke it out. Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think it happens on both ends, but I guess we have to try to be as careful as possible. We have to learn how to pick a mate. Back in the day, the families got together. You knew the family line. You knew the village. You knew. We don't live in that area, and people can pretend. Man or woman can pretend for years, right? So it's a difficult, very difficult situation to be in. But again, we have to make sure that if the man needs are being met, he's meeting his woman's need. If the woman's needs are being met, she's meeting our man's need. If not, we're going to be in a situation where we're not going to have people, right? Because everybody will stop, get together.
Right.
Or, as a people, we're dying on the vine. Man and woman both are dying on the vine,
right. Right.
So, I mean, we have to fix that for sure.
Right.
This is not, I think social media is probably the worst thing that happened to us, honestly.
Yes, when it comes to relationships.
It's like a pit toilet. Yes. And everybody can get on it and say whatever. And then some people get radicalized behind these messages online, and they take it into the real world. And it's all toxic, nothing positive.
True.
So.
True. All right. Thank you I appreciate you greatly.
Yes, thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Yeah. So back to what we were saying before, right? About the pick me stuff. She made a lot of great points. But the part about they didn't have a choice, I've always said that. Don't think your grandmother didn't have a choice. She did. Because if you look back in that time where your grandmother was, there were women there that were doing the same thing that women are doing now. Nothing is new under the sun. There were women there that had multiple men, that had women that had multiple children by multiple different men, that never got married, that got married and divorced and moved on, or just left their marriage and left their children behind for another man without getting divorced. All this other stuff, right? It all happened back then too. The women who stayed the course, they are not to be undervalued. And no one today should be saying, oh, they did it because they didn't have a choice, because times were different. And no, they had a choice too. They could have went that other way too. They didn't. They had you in mind. I remember my grandfather looking at my grandmother when they came to visit. I have a picture here. My mom got a one in her house as well, with all the grandkids gathered around them. And my grandfather looked over at my grandmother and he said, Ruby, the union has been fruitful. And I said, wow, Ruby, the union has been fruitful. You know what he was looking at? He was looking at his children, and then he was looking at his children's children, and he was looking at how good. And I had to step back and look at my family. I'm like, this is a group of good-looking people. Like, good-looking as in doing well in life. Everybody is able to do well for themselves. We're past the worst. And these kind of things. Our children are growing beautifully. Isn't that what you would want to see for your grandchildren? I want to see my children's children flourish beautifully in my lifetime before I take my last breath. That way I know. And this is what they had planned, right? And they stuck through. Yep, I can't let this little bullshit right here cost me my whole relationship. The bigger picture is my children and my children's children, right? Life itself slows you down. So whatever rebel my grandfather was, that rebel left out of him. As he got older, he became somebody that was more a church person. He became somebody that was more a godly person. He became somebody that was more a humbled person. He wasn't somebody to play with, but the type of things that used to bother him are probably things that in my lifetime, I seen him just laugh off. That's why I told y'all, my grandmother had a lot to say all the time. My grandfather, he would just literally just laugh and shake his head, you know. He wouldn't let it bother him so much anymore. And his wife catered to him through his whole life. And he catered to her through her whole life. Like, he addressed her. I was just telling Kira that yesterday. I said, through my whole life, they addressed each other. I never heard honey. I never heard babes. I never heard any of those affectionate or so-called affectionate terms. She used to call him Mas Cleavy. He used to call her Miss Ruby her whole life. His whole life, the whole time I've been there, right? Mas Cleavy and Miss Ruby. Yes, well, you know, when Mas Cleavy come home, it's not going to be like that. So I better hurry up and set that up properly before that man get here. She was the overseer, and his wish was being made a command in the house, and everything was that way before he got there, right? And that kind of stuff, like, that part is gone. The reason why these men are, remember we start talking about pick me, right? The reason why these men are going out finding different women, because they're geared differently from different culture. And yeah, you might want to call them a pick me to try to put them down. But the reason why that is happening is because these men are not being catered back to. It's not a problem finding brothers out here that's making good money. There's a lot of us out here making good money. It's not a problem finding brothers out here that are stable. There's a lot of us out here that are stable. It's a problem finding the reciprocation. One of the most hurtful things in life is when you work your ass off to trust somebody else, fit all the pieces to the puzzle, and that person does not reciprocate. I appreciate this. I love you for this. The little simple stuff like what the lady was saying. Hey, you've been on the phone like all day. Put the phone down and go play with the kids. Why are you always worried about my phone? How about just put the phone down and go play with the kids? He'll love you for it later, even more, right? Where do you think that's going? Why are you always worried about my phone? Where do you think that's going? You think that's going to end up beneficial to your relationship? So the reciprocation, like she said, women are sensitive and they want to be catered to and they need that. Yes, but it's become a me thing where women are sensitive. Hell, men are sensitive too. Women need to be catered to. Men need to be catered to too. Women are emotional creatures. So are men. There's nothing that a woman desires. Well, maybe I should not say that way because some people are going to run with it. But there's nothing that is required for a woman to thrive that is not required for a man as well to thrive, right? Without getting into foolishness. There's nothing that a woman requires to thrive that a man does not. So if you want this man to provide all these things for you, then you need to be able to reciprocate. And then when that man feels like you're reciprocating, this is where he will feel respected. This is where he will feel loved. And this is where he will continue to do what it is that he is doing that's good, that you enjoy, the things you like, and so on and so forth. You see some women with their husband and they just have their way and them just get anything them want, is because she is his pick-me. Yep, I'm a pick-me for my husband, and I don't give a damn what you say. He happy, and when he happy, he make me extra happy. That's the concept. That's what it's supposed to be. Not, well, my man got to make 6 figures, and he have to do this, and he has to do that, and he has to do this and that. And yeah, really? A lot of neck snapping and a whole lot of up in his face and arguing and a whole lot of, come on, man. And that's why it's falling apart, really. So stop using the word pick me on women who do not deserve to be called pick-me's. Those women who are exuding qualities that men are seeking to marry, they're not pick-me's, they're actually wife material, right? For me, a pick-me other ways was a hoe. I thought a pick-me was a hoe after reading that definition, because she in a room full of men and she wants all the attention from all the men in the room. So she'll throw all the other women under the bus and try to show out the most to grab all these men's attention. You know those kind of women? She never laughed loud before, but let there be a group of men in the room. Girl, you so crazy. Hi. Yeah, like I'm over here. You see me? You know, that's what I would give. That's who I would give pick me to. Hey, that's where it's at for this morning. It's 8:59 and we're going to finish at 9 on the dot. We won't go into these questions. We will leave the sheet full of questions for tomorrow, and we will pick up right where we left off at. Audrey Wright says, my grandmother was a pastor and according to society, the bigger star in the relationship, so to speak. But she understood her assignment. At home, he was the head of the home and she was his wife. Yes, and some women understand that today and some still don't. But that's how it goes, right? So watch how y'all using that word pick me. And I'm telling you, from now on, you're going to see it a lot out there. All right? Manners and respect to each and every one of you. And to the last caller, conversations like these help to foster healthy relationships. Some people are going in the wrong direction and they're looking for guidance. Some people actually really listen and they say, yo, SouFlo, I'm not lie. The conversation you had the other morning had me really have to go look into myself, yo. I appreciate you and I thank you for that. So don't take it as mediocre, right? We're making strides. One step at a time, might be small, but we are. All right. God go with all of you. Have a wonderful day. Keep a smile on your face. Life is short. Enjoy it and be good. And I'll see you tomorrow right here on Morning Thoughts. If God spare my life, like my grandfather used to say. I'm out. Peace.